What's good, y'all? And today we got Horrors in the App Store by Something Sinister. Let's get straight into it. Ugh.
In a tiny province in Peru, a group of young girls have just left school for
I'm gonna
the
be
day.
eating, by the way, y'all.
It's Friday afternoon, and what lies ahead is a seemingly innocent weekend sleepover. But somewhere along the way, things take a turn for the worst. One of the group members in particular, a girl named Patricia Kispy, returns home that Sunday. She tells her parents about some of the fun activities that she and her friends did before retreating to her bedroom. From their brief conversations, Patricia's parents can tell that something is wrong with their daughter. She appears to be sick, and though her parents assume that their daughter might have been drinking over the weekend, this is far from the case.
So what was she doing on that weekend then? Was you doing drugs? Stop doing them drugs.
When confronting Patricia about her strange behavior, Patricia begins convulsing and foaming around her mouth. Her parents quickly call for an ambulance, and the following audio is recorded on the way to the hospital.
¡Suéltame! ¡Suéltame! Mami, mi celular. Mi celular, ¿dónde está? Mi celular, ¿dónde está? Mi celular. ¡Mamá!
There's gotta be some more than drugs, man.
Vamos a ver que tú confías en mí, cielo. Vamos a la casa.
Patricia seems to be in some sort of altered state. She speaks in a low, gravelly tone, threatening the EMT workers and asking where her phone is. Though it was initially believed that Patricia had taken some sort of drug during her weekend with friends, this was not the case. After being treated at the hospital and dispatched to a psychiatric ward, the true nature of Patricia's behavior would soon come to light. Some of the girls Patricia had spent time with that weekend told investigators that the group had downloaded a Ouija board app on their phones.
Okay. So let's get this straight. One, why the fuck are you doing that? You don't mess around with this type of shit. Ghost hunting, okay. Going to abandoned stuff, okay. Ouija boards, however, that shit is nothing to play with. On God, that's nothing to play with. Because, bro, you don't know who you're contacting. You can be like, oh, I'm contacting my loved ones, one of my dead, this and that, blah, blah. No, you're not. 9 times out of 10, you're not contacting no dead one, no, none of that, bro. You getting demons. You getting attached to something. Something that can possess you. Something that can make you act out. All type of shit. Do not fuck with Ouija boards, period, point blank. Ouija boards is a dangerous thing. And people may not believe in spirits and ghosts and all this and that, but this shit real, bro. Shit get real. Facts.
They then used the app to speak with spirits, one of which supposedly latched itself onto Patricia and possessed her. The video of Patricia in the ambulance would be posted by a number of news outlets, causing the clip to go viral in South America. When reading the comments on posts like these, many individuals believe that Patricia is simply doing this for attention. Unfortunately, any articles I could find following the event all read the same. Patricia was sent to a psychiatric ward and has not been heard from ever since. I think it's likely that Patricia was simply suffering from some form of undiagnosed epilepsy or seizure. This incident naturally led to a debate as to whether or not Ouija board apps belong in the App Store. When searching today, there's no official Ouija board app available for download. The only apps you will find are knockoffs that use words like spirit or witch board because they can't legally say Ouija. But Patricia's story got me thinking, what sorts of other disturbing apps are hidden throughout the App Store? I'm not just talking about the big ones like Randonautica or Replica, but ones that are a little bit more obscure. As I was doing my research, I made the mistake of downloading one of the apps just to see firsthand what the hype was all about. It's also listed as being okay for users 4 and up, which is, I don't know, kind of interesting. I think regardless, the concept of introducing AI to someone as young as 4 is somewhat of a weird dystopian thought for me. So there are a lot of apps that we're about to talk about right now that are pretty unsettling. But before we get into that, there is one app that you definitely should consider downloading. I know it seems like the world is in a scary place right now with, rising gas prices, being able to afford groceries or to, be able to go out to eat. And many people, including myself, feel as though they have no control over their finances. However, there is a way to get cash back every single time you go to fill up your tank, check out at the grocery store, or go out to eat. Thanks to today's video partner, Upside, you are now able to earn extra cash back on gas, groceries, and use the code SINISTER to get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon when filling up your tank for the first time. That's an extra 25 cents back on every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code SINISTER. Thanks again to Upside for sponsoring this video, and now back to the story. I think Patricia's story, despite its authenticity, serves as a good transition to the next disturbing app. While Patricia and her friends, like many other teenagers, used their digital Ouija board as a means of having fun and getting scared, the concept of a Ouija board digs a little deeper than that. Ouija boards play on one's desire to communicate with the dead. And there's actually quite a few apps that were designed in order to prey upon grieving individuals, desperate to find closure with their deceased loved ones. Very recently, I found this post on a Facebook public group dedicated to grief support, specifically for the loss of a spouse. This post in particular comes from an individual who posed an interesting question. Has anybody tried recently using one of the apps on Google Play to contact their spouses? I found one, but I'm kind of scared. It's called GhostTube. I connected with my sister and my mom. This GhostTube app is similar to the Ouija board app in a lot of ways. It uses a tool to supposedly detect paranormal activity. But as I kept exploring app recommendations on the grief support page, it led me to the following.
What about the crush?
Stop. Grandma, stop talking.
Just tell me one thing.
Look who's gonna be a great grandmother.
Oh, Charlie! Oh, congratulations!
You would have loved this moment.
I know him.
You can call
I know his
anytime.
actor.
In November of 2025, a video started circulating online showing what appeared to be some type of dystopian world where users can communicate with AI versions of the dead.
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. One thing that's clear, AI is never gonna stop advancing. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, AI will only get bigger. And you hear people say, oh, people that use AI for studying or to look up answers or to do this and that, blah, blah. You're not using your critical thinking skills and you're not using your brain, this and that, blah, blah. Yes. Sometimes you can't use your critical thinking skills in some situations. But it's like, you have a tool that is there to help you. Also, do you honestly think that this AI that we have now, ChatGPT, all these different forms of AI, do you think they're going to underdevelop? No, they're going to develop more and more and more and more and more and more and more, especially ChatGPT. And we got shit like this now. So what do you think is going to be happening in the future? Near future. We going to have some big shit, bro. Facts.
In particular, the video featured a pregnant woman asking for advice from her recently deceased mother. As the woman's child grows up, we watch as the deceased grandmother has conversations with the child throughout his life, eventually extending all the way until the boy is ready to have a child of his own. The video, which would turn out to be an advertisement for a legit app known as Two-Way, would receive widespread attention for its controversial ideas. It's only briefly touched on in the advertisement, but one of the unique features of the app is the ability for users to use their phone camera and scan anyone they desire. The app then creates a sort of 3D rendering of the individual.
Okay, yeah, no offense. Please don't say it's like weird, but like, doesn't this grandma look creepy? I'm human the butt, bro. This grandma looks creepy as fuck. Like, I don't know. It's like something about it. Maybe it's the eyes. Like, okay, your skin get wrinkly, but I don't know. It's something about it that just freaks me the fuck out.
That the user is then able to interact with 24/7. In this case, the ad shows the woman scanning her mother with her phone prior to her passing. Earlier this year, I made a video where I explored the nuances of AI companions. I think one of the big takeaways was how we often view those seeking AI companions as strange or weird.
Bro. Yeah, bro. I think it was him who made the video. Or somebody else. But dude, it was a video that I watched of him or somebody. They was having relationships with these fucking AIs, bro. They was having relationships with the AIs, and they was talking to them, like flirting with them, all type of shit, y'all. It's crazy. And have y'all seen like what your Tesla can say to you? It was in like it was in Dub's clip. It was on like one of the, like Dub's clips or whatever. He was talking to his car, and he was like, he would say ooh, and she's like ooh. But he was like, and then he was like, okay, you say it like a little more sexy or whatever. And she's like, ooh, you like that? So why do y'all think these AIs can't like, oh my God, bro.
But what's perhaps more disturbing is the fact that many AI companies that allow for AI companionship are actively preying upon this lonely and vulnerable demographic. And as I began putting together a Two-Way account of my own, I started to notice some disturbing similarities. All right, so I've just started downloading Two-Way from the App Store, and I can already tell that, like, despite it looking like a free app, that it's probably not going to be a free app. It's also listed as being okay for users 4 and up, which is, I don't know, kind of interesting. While I'm sure that there isn't like an emphasis on like adult avatars and
Yo. Okay, sorry, y'all. I have to make sure my shit was working. Sorry.
Sort of, I guess, adult content and conversations, kind of like what we saw in the AI chat rooms video. I think regardless, the concept of introducing AI to someone as young as 4 is somewhat of a, I don't know, a weird dystopian thought for me. But real quick, while I'm getting everything set up, I went ahead and visited the Two-Way website. They sort of market it by using different figures with different professions, like Shakespeare, for example, who can, you know, potentially help you improve your writing, or if you need a life coach, they have an avatar dedicated to that. It really just sort of gives off the vibe of like ChatGPT, like used for, I don't know, practicality and information and learning, but with sort of a physical form. After the app was downloaded, it didn't take long for me to realize why the App Store rating was so low. I had initially assumed that it was because of the controversy, but after filling out the requested username and password and email address, I clicked agree with terms of service and was given a pop-up telling me that my time had expired. So I've been sitting here trying different usernames and like a couple different emails just to sort of see if anything changes, but so far I've gotten the same message every time. I was admittedly frustrated at first, but the more I looked into the strange message the app had been giving me, the more strange information I found. I think it goes without saying, but with the technology available nowadays, pretty much anyone with an idea and enough ambition is capable of creating an app.
That's right. You can create an app, y'all. You at home yourself can create an app. At my high school, I'm in like the computer part of like the school, right? Cause you got leadership, and then you got technology. I'm in the technology part, so that means you get technology type classes. I had well, I didn't have it, but it was a class where you had this teacher that was able to make you set up your own app or whatever. This and that is like a project or whatever, bro. All you need to know how to do is code, make some shit simple, and hey, if you smart enough and you creative enough, you can make some wild shit. Like right now in my senior year, we got a coding class. We got cybersecurity. We got a coding class. If I was in that class, y'all, do y'all know what I can do? I could probably hack somebody. I could probably do all type of shit. Hey,
Remember getting an iPod Touch back in the early 2010s and downloading things like Cookie Clicker, Airwings, and the one where you could flip a Zippo lighter or something like that. It seemed like practically anyone was able to get published on the App Store, and with that sort of freedom came some pretty unsettling creations. Back in 2012, before apps like Tinder or Hinge became popular, the landscape for dating apps was still ripe for the taking. Humor me for the moment and picture the following scenario. You and some of your friends have decided that because it's Friday night, you want to go out to a restaurant and watch a movie after. You get together and drive to the restaurant, and while you're waiting for your drinks, you check in to the restaurant using an app like Facebook. You and your friends then go about your business, having dinner and enjoying your time together. But as you look across the restaurant, you notice a strange man approaching you. You've never seen this man before in your life, but somehow he knows exactly who you are and how long you've been sitting at this restaurant.
oh hell no.
This concept was the basis for an early dating app known as Girls Around Me. The app utilized publicly available information, such as your activity across social media platforms, to determine and broadcast your location to other users on the Girls Around Me app.
What?
As you can imagine, the app was used.
Bro. Y'all, that's so fucking scary, y'all. I'm so glad we don't got shit like this now. Dude, do you not know how much people will be in danger? Like, nigga, that the human trafficking rates or like kidnapping rates, them bitches will skyrocket if you have some shit like this now. You can just find somebody off of their like what they post, this and that. Oh,
Specifically by lonely men who may or may not have had nefarious intentions. According to statements made by the app's developers, the app was meant to serve as a guide to help users find hotspots for where girls or guys were hanging out on the weekends. By using the app's features, you could also scan the ratio of girls to guys in these gatherings. Regardless of these intentions, however, the app soon became a hub for stalkers, attempting to find new and unsuspecting victims.
They were pulling information from Facebook and Foursquare that was publicly made available. So if you personally publicly made your information available on that site, all this app did was pull that information into it, and it made it easier for people to kind of aggregate all of that information in one view.
iFree Innovations, a Russian company responsible for the app's development, said in response to comments regarding stalkers on the app, "We believe it is unethical to pick a scapegoat to talk about the privacy concerns. We see this wave of negativity as a serious misunderstanding of the app's goals, purpose, abilities, and restrictions." Following the overwhelming amount of negative criticism, iFree Innovations decided to pull Girls Around Me from the App Store entirely. It's really somewhat of a miracle that while researching the app, I wasn't able to find any news articles or anything like that regarding stories of anyone who was directly hurt as a result of the app. I assume, however, if the developers hadn't made the decision to pull the app, this probably wouldn't be the case. So, a little bit of time has passed since I had initially recorded that footage where I was having a difficult time signing up for the two-way app. I was actually able to find a contact email listed at the bottom of the website to sort of, I guess, reach out and see if it was me who was, doing something wrong. While I'm still waiting for a response, I sort of came across some weird details that I thought that I should share with you. When I was on the two-way website looking for an email to reach out to regarding my problem, I stumbled across 3 social media accounts belonging to the app. The X account appeared normal enough, with most of the posts being centered around the aforementioned controversial advertisement. It was on this account where I was introduced to the app's co-founder, an individual named Calum Worthy. You might recognize Calum as an actor from TV, but in 2024, he made the decision to transition towards science and technology. Calum has somewhat become the mascot of two-way. Not only is it Calum who greets you when you open the app, but he's also included on the app as an avatar that you can interact with. While I didn't find anything inherently strange on the X account, the link on the two-way website leading to their Instagram account is a bit of a different story. As you can see, not only is the username Hollow Avatars instead of the app name, but who exactly is the man in this profile picture?
Damn.
While I can
My shit. Like, ooh. Oh shit.
pretty confidently say that I believe the Hollow Avatar's username is in reference to the type of technology that the two-way app uses, I can't say for certain who is in this picture. There's only one post on the page as well. It's another advertisement from Calum. Disturbingly enough, the top comment comes from a user who simply states, "I want to talk to my parents."
I mean, but like how? Like how you gonna be able to talk to your parents? Like I'm assuming that you have to scan them first before shit can go before shit go sideways. Unless they have like a feature where you can insert a photo. Oh, excuse me. Insert a photo of them and it's able to like accumulate them, and then put them on the screen as like a full body AI, and you can talk to them. But it's like, is that really gonna be your coping mechanism? That's not good. I don't think that's a good idea. Cause then like, what if you become delusional and get so attached to it that you think your parents are real and they living in your phone? Feel me?
Listed beneath the Hollow Avatar's username is a number for a WhatsApp and a link to a website. When attempting to visit this website today, it apparently no longer exists. And despite using WhatsApp to try and message the listed number, I could not successfully make contact with anyone. Oddly enough, the area code comes from Iran. But when viewing the LinkedIn page and scrolling through any associated members, all but one live in the United States. So I am working right now, but I do have a response from the two-way team regarding the issues that we've been having. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say. If you thought that the previous Girls Around Me app was unsettling, there was actually an app created in 2011 that might be even worse. If you've been on the internet for any period of time, chances are you've probably used Google Maps at least once. Of course, it's useful for getting directions to a destination, but the Street View feature that the website has is pretty cool. You can spend countless hours maneuvering up and down different streets and alleyways located in your hometown or perhaps countries that you've never been to before. But what if I told you that there was an app eerily similar, but with the ability to locate people.
Oh, fuck.
Just as girls around me utilized data that individuals were posting to other websites in order to figure out their location, the app fittingly named Creepy did the exact same thing. However, while girls around me may have been created with the intention of being a dating app, Creepy appears to be designed for individuals looking for trouble.
Yeah, you looking for trouble. Oh my god. Wow, niggas made an app called Creepy. That's not.
According to articles written prior to the app's removal, individuals using Creepy were given a search bar in which they could type out the username of any individual they were interested in knowing the location of.
Nigga, so you mean to tell me back in the day, this app was created named Creepy, and it says Creepy app locates anyone using photos. So you mean to tell me if I post something, cha-chink, next thing you know, I put it on Instagram or something, and they can type my Instagram name in, and they can find exactly where the fuck I've been at, or where I be at, or like where my local spots at. Bro, who made this? Who made this? Like, you should be slapped. Nah, nigga, nah, matter of fact, bring the guillotine out.
The Creepy app would then access the username's accounts, such as Twitter or Facebook, in order to identify their location based on what the individual was posting. So if you posted a picture of your food at a local restaurant, the app drops a pin on a map and states that you are in or around that area. When speaking to the developer of the Creepy app, he stated that the purpose was not for individuals to use it for stalking someone, but to instead showcase the dangers of sharing personal information on the internet. It's kind of an extreme way of showcasing that, if you ask me. Fortunately, like the Girls Around Me app, Creepy no longer exists. I even checked into similar websites like I Can Stalk You and was relieved to find that the domains have not been renewed.
Thank God.
My email to Two-Way had initially been regarding a message saying that my request has timed out each time that I tried to sign up for an account. I received the following response. Thank you for reaching out. It's not you, it's us. Two-Way is currently down while we rework our avatar engine for scale. We do not yet have an estimated relaunch date. Once we have our new system in place, we hope to offer improved digital, twin quality, processing time, and international support. This email came from Alex Finden, who, according to the Two-Way LinkedIn account, works in product and marketing. Unfortunately, this response left a lot to be desired. Not only was the app not working, but there was no set deadline for when it would be operational again. But despite this, I still wanted some answers as to what was going on with the strange Instagram account linked to the app's website. In response to Alex's email, I simply said thank you and that if he was willing, I had some questions regarding the app that I would like to address. So, Alex has been very kind so far. His response to that email was just that he couldn't promise that he would be able to answer, the questions that I have, but he would be happy to try. So I just wrote to him and I said, I appreciate that. I was just curious. When viewing the Instagram linked to the website, it takes me to an account listed under Hollow Avatars. I assume that's the technology used to make Two-Way possible, but who is the gentleman in the profile picture and why the WhatsApp number and link to a dead website? Alex responded fairly quickly to that, just sort of saying that the site was out of date and linking me to the now correct social media platforms related to Two-Way. When visiting what he had linked, the Instagram in particular looks a lot more like what you'd expect. I have a couple theories as to what's going on with the old Instagram linked on the Two-Way website. As we've established, Two-Way utilizes an AI process in which a 3D hologram is created when scanning an individual on the Two-Way app. This holographic avatar technology predates the app, with holographic avatars gaining interest in 2024 and two-way launching in 2025. Given that we know Calum is just a co-founder, it wouldn't surprise me if he had partnered with an individual who was leading the charge in terms of this technology. Whether it be the gentleman in this photograph, I'm not entirely sure. Even when searching the name listed beneath the username, I haven't been able to get any concrete results. I was still a little confused as to why a WhatsApp number with an Iran extension would be listed on the page. The best I could come up with was the fact that Iran is currently one of the biggest locations in the Middle East for experimental holograph technology. While I do think that these theories are probably most likely the case, some things just don't sit right with me.
Right?
If the app is currently under maintenance, why is there zero advertisements for this on the website or app itself? This lack of communication has severely affected their ratings all around. Why would 2A purposefully damage its reputation like this? And especially after the uncertainty expressed in the emails as to whether or not the app would ever get fixed, I'm left feeling like this is an abandoned project. Perhaps the backlash that they received from the initial advertisement was enough to make them question the ethics of what they were creating. Or maybe I'm totally off. I'd like to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments. If you made it to the end of this video, I just want to really quickly say thank you for doing so and giving me your time. I sort of go back and forth between whether or not sort of having, segments where I take part in the story, I guess, so to speak, is a good idea or not. I know that, some people enjoy it, but I also know that other people just prefer, direct information, no real interference from myself, which I'm totally fine with either way. I just want to know, what you prefer. So if you could let me know down in the comments which one, that would be great. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video. And if you enjoyed it, please make sure to subscribe to Something Sinister. And stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video.
Subscribe to Something Sinister, y'all. W fucking YouTube. Alright. Thank y'all for watching, man. And cue that motherfucking outro. Oh.